I think it's safe and understandable to say that currently most of us are tired of the current AAA gaming experience. There is no soul, it's the safest thing, and there's no innovation.
Most AAA games have no soul.
What is happening to the studios we loved? How can they make some of the greatest games of all time, then turn around and just make disappointment after disappointment? It felt like the end of AAA games, but then Elden Ring came out.
Yep.
True.
Wait, am I in the picture? Okay, all right, good, I am. I thought I was about to get, like, just taken out. All right, I was about, oh, man.
Close.
Why is Elden Ring such a breath of fresh air when most other AAA games feel copy-pasted? And
Oh, look at that. That was a FIFA game. Wow, I wonder which of the past 20 years games that was. There's no telling the difference.
why did this game cause so much controversy?
Elden Ring is Game of the Year? The game is man.
To answer these questions,
To be fair, that guy speedruns the game. So yeah, he hates it probably more than Quantum does.
More than
we
anyone.
first need to understand
That's
that
happy
when
hop.
Elden Ring came out, the game defied everyone's expectation. Elden Ring sold 12 million copies in the
That's
first
a
No
lot.
hits again.
Even
Yeah, excuse me.
Miyazaki, the mastermind behind Elden Ring, was surprised by the success. And to put the sales into
Yeah.
context, Elden Ring at release was on pace to sell the same amount of copies as some of the best-selling open-world games of the last decade.
Impressive.
GTA
Yep.
5, Skyrim, and Breath of the Wild. I mean, if you really
Wow.
think about it, Elden Ring
That's a
should
list.
not have been
Impressive.
performing as well as these other games. Don't get me wrong, Elden Ring is an incredible game, but most FromSoft games are pretty niche and usually target
They're extremely
True.
niche, and they also don't have a bunch of like established IP, like Legend of Zelda or Grand Theft Auto. Like, boomers know what Legend of Zelda or Grand Theft Auto is. They don't know what Dark Souls is.
That is true, but if you make a product this absolutely incredible, and it is a niche, and that was correctly said, then people of that niche will talk. Because every person is going to try that game, and people are going to be like, wow, you need to try this. This is the best, this type of niche game you have ever played in your life. And this is what actually makes the success of the Dark Souls series, in my opinion. The fact that it is the definitive best niche experience in the genre, so every single person plays it.
more hardcore and advanced player base. By nature, FromSoft games shouldn't sell as much as Zelda or GTA. But this time, Elden Ring did. Why? What was different about Elden Ring, and what set it apart from other FromSoft games?
Open world,
The answer,
probably.
Nothing really. Yes, Elden Ring was
It was
open
good.
world, so unlike other Souls games, you could avoid certain bosses and areas. Yes, the
Yep.
lore was some of the best
True.
I'd ever seen in the game. The world was so immersive that I don't think I could ever find everything in the
The people who say the Elden Ring world is so immersive are saying this are the exact same people who are currently saying Zelda Last Kingdom or whatever that game is called has a beautiful and great open world. Bruh, it's 95% literal nothing in that world, okay? Relax.
mysterious world of the lands between. Seriously, Elden Ring is a masterpiece. Go play this game. But I would argue that almost every FromSoft game is a masterpiece too. And just like the other Souls games, Elden Ring still targets a hardcore player base. And the gameplay is still punishing as hell. So why
Yeah, obviously.
Elden Ring is a fucking joke. All of the games except for maybe Sekiro are a fucking joke.
Why?
If you're having trouble in Elden Ring on a boss, ding ding, summon the fucking hats. Yes, almost. Yeah, get good.
Might as well cheat, honestly, at that point. Okay, that's a joke.
then is Elden Ring capturing a much larger chunk of the gaming market? There is a huge demand for high-quality AAA games.
Oh,
and not much of
absolutely.
a supply.
There's a huge demand for any kind of high quality game, not just AAA.
I mean, imagine you're at a restaurant and you have a hankering for some steak, but they're out
Okay.
of stock.
Okay.
All they
Okay.
have left is some burnt scraps of cooked steak they can shovel onto a plate, or you can get a
Good enough?
delicious
Seems good to me.
honey-baked ham with a sweet honey drizzle.
Oh,
So although you
ham.
wanted a steak, you choose the honey baked.
Honey glazed ham, by the way, is overrated. It's like a British thing, and Brits don't even represent humanity. Like they're like a joke. Do you know British people when they are outside of Britain, will act very British, like it's a cool thing. But when in Britain, they will act like, you know, a downgraded American, and Americans are already downgraded Brits, so that doesn't even make sense. They're a complete joke.
Ham, because the steak scraps just aren't edible. This is the AAA
Yeah, they
game market
are.
we are in right now. Millions of
What
gamers
the hell do you mean?
looking at the piss poor options, praying to Gabe, the god of Steam, to give them anything fun and exciting. It doesn't matter what genre.
Gabe doesn't care what he gives you. Gabe still gets his cut.
As long as it's good, just give us something edible and satisfying. So when Elden Ring came out and the world saw how amazing this game was, people who were originally intimidated by Souls games looked at Elden Ring and said, screw it, let's try it out.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that came in and they started playing it because of this. And I think this also happened on a much lesser extent with Demon Souls. The reason why Demon Souls might have been more accessible is like Demon Souls is a joke of a game. It's very easy to play, easy to beat, but also it required having a PS5. And you know, I think there's like 700 and something people in the world with the PS5 right now. So you know, limited audience there. PS3, I am looking at a clip of the remastered version of Demon Souls. I am not talking about PS3. I am talking about PS5.
Nothing else to play. So like the guy choosing the ham over the burnt steak, I would argue that Elden Ring's meteoric success is not only a byproduct of how good the game is, but because there's such a small supply of good AAA titles right now. Elden Ring really
Of good games in general, I think.
is the best option on the menu. However, like every industry, there will be people who hate or love something purely because of its popularity. And man, do we have a few in the gaming industry. But
Oh, bro, I'm so tired of that. Like people that hate games, hate things because they're popular.
surprising this time,
There are annoying people who like things because they're just popular, and there are annoying people who hate things because it's just popular. I mean, it's the easiest choice to make if you don't want to go in depth or, you know, think for yourself. But hey,
many of the people who hate Elden Ring are developers at other studios.
I wonder why.
Infuriated by Elden Ring's success.
Yep.
The developer who said, Elden Ring's UX is so bad that I can only imagine FromSoft's devs smoking at their desks and using CRT
We watched
monitors.
this
I
video.
guess these developers felt that the game violated certain tenets of game development, and by violating these rules of development, Elden Ring didn't
I remember
deserve
this
its
one.
success. Why would these devs be so angry about Elden Ring's success?
imagine you're a developer that makes copy-pasted shit after shit, and you make it magically worse every time, even though you just literally pressed Control-C, Control-V, and you still managed to make it worse, okay? And here you are, trying to take a shit on something that people actually like, because they did not make it by the dog water standards you live by. That is just peak arrogance.
Who cares if Elden Ring didn't follow the rules of
I can see why the devs would be mad, because most of the time whenever people talk about Elden Ring being good, people are like, man, it's not like those other games. Those other games are fucking garbage.
Deserved.
Elden Ring is good compared to that other game that's garbage.
Deserved.
So yeah, it's because they're being compared with it and they're being told their game is garbage. It makes sense that they're not going to be happy about
Because
that.
it's true.
game development. It's not like Elden Ring's success affects them. Well, mostly. I can see
Right.
why developers at Guerrilla Games were upset. Elden Ring released only 1 week after Horizon Forbidden West, so
Oh.
you could say that Elden Ring overshadowed the hype around Horizon. So Horizon
What kind of hype around Horizon? A female protagonist that has a beard?
possibly didn't perform as expected. The reason is petty and in no way Elden Ring's fault, but at least I can see where the Guerrilla
Yeah.
devs' frustration comes from.
There you go.
Why were Ubisoft devs so upset? None of their sales were affected by the release of Elden Ring.
Because they have low testosterone. I dare you to show me a single AAA development studio currently that's running where your average male does not have below average woman testosterone. Just show me it. Show me, and you can have everything I own. I will give it to you, because you will never be able to show me a single manly male experience from any of these companies.
Now, remember, these were only a few people and not the whole studio who were angry at Elden Ring. However, the response from gamers to not only these devs, but Ubisoft as a whole.
Well, I think also like a lot
Good.
of this is like a meme. I'm sure that Ubisoft makes plenty of good
True.
games that are fine, and I haven't played one of their games for quite a while, so I
Because
can't really
they
say.
don't make anything good.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably make good games sometimes.
Yeah, the first
No?
Assassin's Creed, I guess.
Maybe I should play one.
Hitman, maybe?
Maybe
I
I
don't
should
know.
play one and really find out for myself.
Waste
Showed
of
us something
time.
really interesting. Gamers are tired of playing the same thing. We are tired of the formulaic nature of Ubisoft and most other AAA games.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. It has a satisfying shooter-looter game loop. The graphics are great, the mechanics are well-tuned and executed, and the story's acceptable.
Bummer?
Yeah. It's exactly the same as all other Ubisoft games. It's just another copy-paste.
You see,
Yep.
when every user interface, every store, and every game looks relatively the same, we notice. It's like hotel.
I love how you can look at, like, the one thing that you will always be able to understand. You won't be able to understand the character menu. You won't be able to understand the game menu. You won't be able to understand what's happening on the screen. But goddamn, you will fucking understand immediately what the battle pass is. And if there's a gotcha system, you're gonna see, okay, this is the current banner. This is the basic banner. This is the the special like promotional banner. Okay, these
Normal.
are the modifiers that increase the banner characters. Okay, yep. And then there's your 2 currencies that you need to buy with your 3rd currency, and then you buy your 3rd currency with your 4th currency. But you could also buy the 3rd currency with the currency from the store, and then you use that currency what you buy with your real currency, and then there's an exchange rate
That's
of
accurate.
1 to 100. But if you buy $100 of it at a time, you get 20% off for your first purchase. So it's actually a little bit like, yeah,
art. Each piece of art is theoretically different, but somehow feels and functions exactly the same. So when the first few Assassin's Creed games came out, they felt new and exciting. Running around the Holy Land of Rome, leaping off buildings, sneaking or hiding in hay bales, it was unique. But now, I
True.
can barely tell the difference between Assassin's Creed gameplay and every other Ubisoft game. Ubisoft thinks if they
That's
just
so
change
true.
the era and location of each game, we won't notice.
well, it clearly is true that people don't notice because he just posted their sales figures, and it seems like people don't notice. So, like, let's keep that in mind. Number 2,
What kind of sales figures? Because the game sells less, but they do add pretty much almost mandatory microtransactions more and more now in those games.
I think that one of the reasons why these companies choose safe options is the same reason why we get a new Spider-Man movie every other year. It's or a new Transformers movie or something like that. It's because
Hey, don't you dare bring Transformers into this, okay? Transformers are supposed to be the exact same thing. Stupid plotline and explosions to cover up for the stupid plotline, okay? The best character development is when they show a hot one's ass in that movie, okay? And that's probably the only character development anyone is gonna have in that thing, okay? Optimus Prime is a literal crazed lunatic psycho murderer. Have you heard his voice lines? That person is literally telling people before he kills them, I'm gonna stop your bloodline right here and destroy anyone who's left. That's unironically death. Dude.
everybody knows Spider-Man will sell. Transformers will sell. It works.
Fast and Furious, baby.
A lot of these companies have massive amounts of money riding on these investments, and they can't
Good
afford
times.
to have an L. That's the real reason.
I mean, one has knives and one has guns, right? But just like hotel art, they may look different, they don't feel any different. It's the same game with a new coat of paint. This reason is why Ubisoft devs reacted the way they did. They have been taught that to make a successful game, you need to follow a formula. So when a studio like FromSoftware makes Elden Ring without the formula, and it's incredibly successful, it infuriates developers who have had
Nice.
their creativity restricted and pushed into a box. Now, these devs who criticize FromSoft should take full responsibility for what they said in a public forum. However, I also blame AAA studios like Ubisoft.
I get so mad about people that put out a hot take on the internet and then they get mad whenever people respond to it.
Idiots.
It's like, bro, whenever I tweet something out and I get a bunch of hate for it,
You
I
block
don't
those
cry
people.
about this.
Yeah, you block them.
Like, yes, it might annoy me because I think they're wrong, and I'll vent about it. I'll be like, oh, these guys are so fucking stupid. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm getting harassed. No. Like, people disagree. That you're not it's a discussion. It's a disagreement. What's wrong with people, man? Stop talking if you don't want people to talk back.
Forcing their teams
Basic.
to create unimaginative copycats of their previous 10 games. We can get mad at a few devs all we want, but the real problem comes from the Ubisoft's executives choosing to be formulaic. But why are the leaders of Ubisoft and other AAA studios hellbent
It's safe.
on producing?
He said it before me. Yeah, it is safe. It is literally the safest thing. You can choose to remake a copy-paste game that made you, I don't know, 100 million, let's say, last year. Or you can choose to make something new where you have absolutely no idea how much you may make, and maybe what you make is complete garbage. I mean, look at currently what's happening to Redfall. Everyone hates that game. That game has absolutely no future. It might have had a bright future at one point, but now the whole franchise, if it's going to exist in the future, is going to be always suffering because of that. You know, that's not smart. You want to invest in safe things, you know? You can risk losing everything to get a 20% return on investment on a year, or you can choose to get the 10% return on investment without losing anything and being safe that you get it per year.
Producing the same type of game.
That's
Why
why.
force your devs to work on the 100th Assassin's
Oh my God.
That's funny.
I know what that is. That's the bird from Dark Souls 1. And he's on a computer. Bro, why is he on why is a bird on a flat screen computer?
Because they have flat screens, not LEDs, or whatever they're called. You know? Makes sense.
Oh my God.
Also, it's in paint for some reason.
Creed when they want to work on something new and exciting? The answer? Stability and money.
Yep,
This may be
there it
obvious
is.
to everyone,
Yep.
but milking an IP over and over again is the easiest way to make money as an entertainment company. It's
I mean, they've resold
Yeah.
Skyrim 10 times over the last 10 years.
Pretty sure it's like more like
the reason why
15.
we've had a new Call of Duty 19 years in a row, and also why 2020
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Remastered Extra Edition. Actually, it's Call of Duty 15.
This is the second version of Modern Warfare 2. That's right. And it also includes Warzone 2.
Oh, look at
The
that
popular
modern.
sequel to the popular game called
Yo, you Americans are pathetic. Modern.
Warzone that was a big favorite in 2020.
2022's top 20 best-selling games are all
FIFA.
existing IP or sequels.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
obviously.
Existing IP. Well, obviously, like number 2, Elden Ring is not. Let's see. FIFA. Yep, I'd say so.
Yep.
Man.
Pokemon.
Best-selling games are all existing.
Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Yeah. MLB The Show? What is that? My Little Brony?
IP or
Mario
I would
Kart.
argue that Sonic Frontiers is unique enough to probably not be counted. Sonic is an existing IP, and so categorically he's right by saying this. But I think Sonic Frontiers. The reason. Okay, listen to why I'm saying this. It's
I don't think it honestly matters. You got 25. You got 25 bestsellers, and one of them or two of them are not. Sequels of a sequel. I think that doesn't disapprove the point in general.
because the premise for Sonic Frontiers is a completely open world game, and it is something that Sonic has never tried before.
Cool.
It's a new avenue of video game. You see kind of what I'm saying?
No.
It's an open world game, yeah. Yes, they have,
Nice.
but it's still Sonic.
Well, yeah, it's still Sonic, I guess.
Okay, so like in my mind, I think that whenever a game deviates enough from what its original premise was, it effectively becomes a new game.
True, but in this case it's Sonic. They're not selling you a Sonic open world experience or whatever. They're selling you Sonic yet again. They already sold you Sonic before. The whole franchise is based on Sonic. That's kind of the point.
Even though it's not a new game, it effectively becomes one. That's how I see it. Be saying IP? No, I understand that. I'm just saying that, like, in functionality, I think Sonic Frontiers is more unique.
But it
Like,
is, but
okay.
I don't think that matters.
Can we agree that FIFA 2022 is about the same as FIFA 2023?
We can agree that literally every sports game has been a ripoff since the early 2000s.
More so than Sonic Frontiers was about the same as the previous Sonic game? That's all I'm saying.
FIFA wouldn't even exist without Brazil.
That's it. Please, just that. Come on, and you can say that with any of these other ones.
Sequels, except for Elden Ring.
Minecraft.
Seriously, look at this. Elden Ring is the only game.
Minecraft is a unique IP because Minecraft's just Minecraft. There hasn't been a Minecraft 2, you know?
On here that is a new IP.
Categorically
What's
accurate.
even more crazy
True.
about this list is that 2 of the top 20 games a new IP. What's even more crazy,
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I wonder who the guy was that was like, okay, guys, I know you're going to laugh, but bear with me here. We release Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 again. Well, what are we going to call it? All right. Get this. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. 2. That guy right now,
Millionaire.
youngest junior vice president of the company. Made him a lot of money.
about this list is that 2 of the top 20 games were
Actually, he got scammed and let go before even his internship ended just so they don't have to pay him. No, that's true gameplay.
Call of Duty games, and 3 of them were sports sequels, which
Yep.
are notorious for being the exact same as their predecessor.
No,
Yeah.
they're not the same because they changed the numbers on the jerseys. What do you mean?
About these games.
Do they
being
even
soulless
do that?
copycats all we want, but we're the ones buying these soulless games in droves, and for companies to
They put gambling sponsors in it.
Dude,
come up
look
with
at how
brand new
bad
games
this
and
is.
IPs
It's
are risky.
hilarious.
So studios will make sequels for as long as possible. If we
And you know what's the best part about a sports game like this? There's so little you have to do. You just have to make the animations, and you just have to make the stadium around it, you know, not seem dead. That's it. That's your only requirement to making a sports game. It's just hilarious.
we keep buying them.
Yeah.
So I don't ever see studios not making sequels when we buy them year after year.
Yep.
That said, there
But
is a
sometimes
negative
they're
effect
good.
on your brand when you don't release something new or innovative. Think about it. What is one of your favorite games? Remember when that game was released and how you felt about the developer of that game.
Yeah.
Pretty good, right? Then think about that
was
specific
Blizzard.
developer's most recent game. How do those new games compare with your favorite game? And how do you
I mean,
Oof.
I feel like it's like From Software. Obviously, I'm very happy about. I with Blizzard, I like Dragonflight, and I actually like Overwatch 2.
Yeah, but no one's playing those
Weird
games
situation
anymore.
there. With Nintendo, I feel like Nintendo takes so many shots, they miss a lot of their shots, but I'm actually really looking forward to playing Sonic Frontiers. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to play through the whole
I'm
thing.
pretty sure Nintendo just prints
feel
money.
about that developer now? Probably not great. For me, it was Blizzard and Warcraft 3.
Aha.
This game made Blizzard my favorite developer, and I wouldn't allow a bad word to be said about them. But now, Blizzard has released cash grab after cash grab.
Yep.
Not to mention everything else they
Nice.
have done. And I can't help but look at Blizzard with
Well, they did. You got to keep that in mind. And done is also past tense as well, so, you know, minor.
They're
minor
still
nitpick there.
drinking the milk of the
I mean,
tete.
There's
so
no
that's good.
evidence that there's any sexual weird stuff happening at the offices, and there's no way it could happen because in Preach's video, nobody was at the office. Problem solved. Well, we don't have any more problems of sexual harassment. Yeah, because nobody's there. There we go. Totally issue solved.
The milk still disappears, though.
disappointment. A bad game happens sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Blizzard hasn't made a good game since 2016 with Overwatch. Not to mention they somehow butchered Warcraft 3.
Oh, jeez, don't remind me.
I would argue that I actually think that Dragonflight is a good game. I also think that Legion, in a lot of ways, was ultimately a good game.
But no one
And
played
I would
them.
even go as far to say that I think Overwatch 2 is a good game.
Listen, okay, here Asmund is wrong. The way you define a good game from a giant publisher like Blizzard, Activision, or whatever, honestly, is if they make a good game, it doesn't matter if the last 10% of your fan base that are still playing say it's good. It's only considered an actual good game when it gets people to come back. And none of these games did that.
That's right. I will say it right now. Right now. And by the way, while we're on the topic, why the fuck does every other fucking person get sponsored to play Overwatch 2 except me, and I'm the only person that goes out of my way to defend it?
Because you would make the game look bad unintentionally. That's
What a bunch
just
of
the
shit
truth.
that is, huh?
Yep.
The release of Reforged.
Can't believe it.
I just can't imagine defending Blizzard anymore. The Blizzard brand has fallen from one of the greatest video game developers to a company that is compared to EA. But as we saw with Blizzard in the beginning, the opposite.
I feel
EA
like
at
that's
least
also,
makes
like,
money.
There's a certain amount of like gamer circle jerking that's happening there, because like EA, it's in the game. Bro, people love Madden. People love these games.
Yeah, and those people are called mentally handicapped for a reason, and those people are called non-gamers for a reason, and those people do not represent anything in gaming industry for a reason.
Try to step outside of your fucking little box and realize that there are a bunch of people that buy the new game every year, and they love the new game because they like playing those games. It might not be popular on YouTube commentary, but just because you're not the target audience doesn't mean the game is bad. It's like...
Well, that is absolutely 100% true, but if something gets bought doesn't mean it's actually good, you know? You have to buy food, doesn't mean you're buying the good food. You have to buy clothes, doesn't mean you're buying the good clothes. You have to buy medicine, doesn't mean you're buying the expensive medicine. Well, if there exists such a thing as non-expensive medicine, but still, you get the point.
It's like whenever I go and I watch some, like that,
Lesbian
weird,
porn.
like fashion dress-up game on like the Nintendo Direct. I'm not the target audience for that game. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm not. But guess what? Somebody else is, and they might like it. Yeah, like most mobile games. Yeah, exactly. Like, people are just so, FIFA's massive. Yeah, FIFA's huge.
Sad.
Huge bad take, Asmon. Explain to me why that is a bad take. FIFA and those sports games for normies anyway. Yes, they are. That's who they're there for. It's an objectively money grab game.
Yeah.
Every game is a money grab. What are you talking about? They're
There is a difference, though.
making all of them for money. All I'm saying is that these games that people are shitting on constantly, maybe have you ever considered that they just weren't made for you?
I mean, people complain about these games. Some people complain about Madden, some people complain about FIFA, and you know who those people are? The people those games were made for, because even those people think those games are absolute copy-paste garbage, okay? The only reason people buy these new games is because a huge part of those fans are actually like seriously brain damaged, and they just buy the newest version because you're supposed to buy the newest version because it has your favorite player or whatever updated by the number or whatever, you know. And then everyone else has to buy that game because otherwise you can't actually find matches or play it properly.
Like, I don't understand. That's what people want, the new Madden. They want the new game with the new jerseys. It's stupid, but they want it.
When you release something new that just blows people away, like Elden Ring, gamers will have your back. even if the game isn't perfect. I mean, look at one of the biggest controversies on YouTube, featuring the Act Man and Quantum TV.
This guy made a video saying like Elden Ring sucks or something, and he hates everyone that plays Elden Ring. So Act Man made a video about like the worst take in Elden Ring.
That's good.
The drama from these Elden Ring videos escalated to way more controversial stuff, like bigotry, copyright, demonetization, and the Act Man trending as the number
this was a war.
Good times.
story on Twitter. But all this stemmed from arguments about Elden Ring. Why? Because FromSoft had gained some huge
No, it's because all of these fucking self-appointed, like fucking, they're like the musical hipsters. They're like, yeah, I don't like Drake, I don't like Kanye, like I don't listen to any of them. Like my favorite artist is Aesop Rock, and you know I don't listen to any popular music. Anything that's on the radio, like they totally sold out. They're like so bad. It's just like
classic.
What the hell's wrong with you? Yo, Aesop Rocks, he's great. He's fucking amazing.
No idea who
None
that
Shall
is.
Pass is like one of my favorite songs. But listen, so is Drake. So is fucking Kanye.
America!
Absolutely. Yeah, they're also good. It's just people whose personality is not liking what's popular.
Yep.
points for releasing pure art. And like any extravagant piece of art, people will have visceral reactions, both positive and negative, which is also why people get so angry when you change the story and lore of video games with TV shows like Halo or The Witcher. I mean, Witcher 3 was a beloved game and a piece of art to
people don't get angry that you changed the lore. People
get angry when the product is bad.
Get angry that you made the lore worse. Very different.
Yep, pretty much that also.
So many people. Not to mention the comics. So when you mess up the story and lore in the show, the community isn't toxic when they react negatively. They are passionately asking for you to respect that piece of art as they do. Now all this,
and then the developer literally just takes a steaming dump on that opinion and saying, no, my vision is the better one, and you live with that, you bigot.
Said, I don't just want to bash on AAA studios and walk away. True constructive criticism should have ideas for improvement, not just ranting. So if I had the opportunity to...
No, I hate these opinions. If you're a consumer of a product, you give criticism. You don't have to tell the developer how to fix their game. They should learn to do that on their own. No, you don't have to... If the game sucks, you can just tell them, hey, your game absolutely sucks. The controls are bad, everything's bad. And you know what? If they answer, well, how do you imply me fixing that? Then you just tell them to go find a rope, tie something resembling like a round shape, put it over a tree, and then just see what happens. You tell them to do that because that's the only thing these people deserve. Because you're a consumer. It's not your job to fix the game. Your job is to play the game and complain about the game if it's bad.
Consult a AAA studio, I would suggest the Pareto Principle to be applied company-wide. This principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, is the observation that roughly 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. One company effectively applying this technique is Google. During my time at Google, I saw how they allowed their employees to spend 20% of their time working on something the individual thought would most benefit the company. Both Gmail and AdSense came from this practice, and the former made Google more than $54 billion just in 2022. A more applicable example is Fortnite. The original Fortnite concept was developed from an internal game jam put on by Epic.
And it's also, there's that, and then some other examples of that is that pet battles in WoW that are like a big popular feature. People like them, and like obviously, again, maybe we're not the target audience for that, but a lot of people do like pet battles. They were made just by like one guy. And a lot of things like this have just been made by like one guy. He just came up with this idea, and there it is.
Okay, as someone who actually understands business, the Pareto Principle is absolutely a moronic way to actually run things. Okay, if you're doing that, you're pretty much just openly admitting to everyone, yeah, we have no direction, we have no real idea what we're doing, but let's just fling things at the wall and see what sticks, and maybe something of that is good. Okay. That is a horrible way to do things. Sometimes it works out, but guess what? Most of the times it does not work out.
games. Although they don't strictly follow the 80-20 rule, a game jam is just one example of its application. Letting your team take time to work on new and innovative ideas. Just pure creativity with no deadlines. And creativity is the key to a company's longevity.
Yeah, creativity doesn't make money, though. That's the problem.
Need to constantly innovate to stay alive, and it's what the AAA industry desperately needs right now. So how can we get more games like Elden Ring? AAA studios need to allocate 20% of all their resources to working on new and innovative games. No deadlines, no parameters, just pure creativity. Let your developers work part-time.
Yeah.
They can't deal with a deadline. You think they're gonna magically now deal with something without a deadline? Nah, man, that's just not happening.
I don't think they're gonna re-release Assassin's Creed again.
Good times. Yep.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
that's what they're gonna do instead.
Sounds
Yeah,
better.
let's release Assassin's Creed again and see if that sells. Oh, it does? Oh, remember that game you used to play? We'll play it again.
On something they are passionate about and be amazed at what they'll create. I'm not saying stop making sequels. As we saw, AAA studios make a lot of money from sequels, and sequels aren't always a bad thing. I'm stoked for a Hollow Knight 2, and I pray for a Warcraft 4. However,
yeah, good luck with that one.
AAA studios to be profitable while garnering the love and support of the gaming community, AAA studios should look at Elden Ring as an example to stop making formulaic games.
Can we also admit that Elden Ring was very formulaic in a lot of...
I was gonna say that. Yeah, Elden Ring is literally a copy-paste of Dark Souls, and if you do not agree, you're a shill, honestly. You know, there's literally nothing new about Elden Ring the way it works. Absolutely nothing. It's just open world, and that's it. Nothing else is unique about it.
ways. It's just that they used the From Software formula. It was extremely formulaic. Like, you can go from playing Dark Souls 3 to Elden Ring,
Without
and
any
like
problems.
80% of what you did in Dark Souls 3, it's like, oh, I get this, I understand that, okay, this works the same way.
99%.
Okay, so these are Titanite shards, got it, okay, and, alright, so this is where you upgrade your gear, got it, alright, so this is Firelink Shrine, okay, Round Table Hold, okay, and then, okay, so you can just parry with the smaller shields, and then, okay, heavier weapons, so you have more poise, right, okay, got it. Yeah, like, a lot of this, so it's not about the 80-20 rule, it's about either one of these numbers being a shit number. Yeah, it's a bad foundation.
Okay.
The reason why it worked well, and the reason why everybody, like, one of my most popular videos recently about gaming was about that Dark Souls 3 mod. That's the main thing.
Should probably watch it in that case.
While applying Pareto's Principle to let their developers conceptualize and build masterpieces we all will appreciate, like Elden Ring. Hey, thanks to everyone who joined our Discord and submitted their favorite indie games for this week's video. The indie game our community voted as their favorite for this video was Inmost, made by Hidden Layer Games.
I don't know what that is.
It's a puzzle platform game, and it's currently being sold on multiple platforms.
Oh wow, another pixel game. If I had one wish in the world, it wouldn't be world peace. That's boring. It wouldn't be save the starving children of the world. Fuck them. They, you know, it's their fault for creating a character in a bad server. It would be getting rid of pixel art. In general. I think it's the most disgusting, ugly, non-inspired, lame thing in the world. I have never once in my life enjoyed a modern pixel game because they are all lazy, they are all stupid, they all play the same, they all look the same, and they're goddamn garbage. Hot take.
So go check it out and join our Discord to let us know what game we should feature next.
I actually think this was a pretty good, what do you call it?
Video?
This is a pretty good game. I mean, a pretty good video. I liked it a lot. And so Elden Ring is 80% Dark Souls 3, pretty much 80-20 to me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Chip. No, I think this
but
is
that's not the application of the 80-20 thing that he's talking about.
a great video. I liked it a lot, but I just the only part of it that I disagree with is the fact that I don't like how there's so much of a fixation on like this 80-20 rule or whatever, because I just don't
Yeah, that rule is just stupid.
think that's what's going to happen. I think the reason why this stuff happens is very simple. It's just because these games are safe options. They're easy to go with. There's no problems with them, and that's all there is to it.
That's not the point of the 80-20 rule he actually talked about. Okay, well, I guess that's it, considering no one here seems to understand what that guy was even talking about when he said the 80-20 Phil's law or whatever. It's a dumb thing that no one should do. Hey, if you want to destroy your company, do it. See what happens. See how bad that ends, because it usually ends as a disaster for 99 out of 100 times, and the one time it does work, it usually isn't still that great. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment down below. I'm out. Have a nice day. Bye bye.